Pronto, já estamos online. Só esperar o povo chegar, né? Oi, gente, muito bom dia. Meu nome é Matheus, eu sou um dos responsáveis pelo Score na DENEM. Estou aqui com o Renato hoje, não estamos separados. Vamos apresentar o nosso evento hoje, o último dia de Exchange Fair, em apenas uma sala. E teremos 4 convidados, como vocês viram no post do Insta da DENEM. A gente vai ter China, Índia, Singapura e Indonésia, nessa ordem, certo? E, de novo, a gente vai ter sorteios de EFs da Ásia-Pacífico. Então, do Scope, a gente vai ter Indonésia, Tailândia, Índia, Bangladesh, Filipinas, todos esses anteriores com uma vaga, e Paquistão com 3 vagas, certo? Do Score, a gente vai ter Índia, Indonésia, uma vaga da Tunísia, da semana passada, e 3 vagas do Sudão, da semana passada. Beleza?
Amigo, eu acho que já chegou o convidado.
Então, vamos começar. Nossa, tem um cachorro aqui do vizinho. Vamos começar com China, certo? Eu vou colocar o convidado aqui. Hey, hello.
Hello, Adarasha. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it.
Hi, yeah, you're pronouncing it right.
How have you been? Are you okay? Can you start the presentation now, or do you need some more moments to prepare yourself?
Yeah, just give me some more time. I guess we were given a time slot of 5 o'clock to 5:20 IST. So we still have 8 minutes to go. So I'm waiting for my partner to join. The one who will be presenting along with me. So I guess we can wait for some more time.
Ok.
Pera, eu acho que, na verdade, a China chegou, o convidado da China chegou agora.
Hello. I think Meha and Adash. I think he.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. I think they're both from Meha. You are from the same animal as Adash.
Yes,
Is it?
same as Adash.
Okay, from India. I think they're both from. You are from the same animal as Adash. Is it? Okay, I think they need some moments to prepare themselves, Matheus. So just.
So we call you in a moment.
Yeah.
Então, vamos esperar o convidado da China. Eu mandei mensagem e ela não recebeu. Mas ela já sabia do link do horário. Se vocês tiverem dúvidas quanto ao evento e quanto ao sorteio, no final, podem ir mandando. Por enquanto a gente vai respondendo e tal. Certo, gente? Então, gente, vamos iniciar com Índia, que já está pronto, certo? Depois a gente volta e puxa China, ok? Vamos lá. Hello, guys. So now
Hi.
we are ready to receive you.
Right. I'll just share my screen 1 second.
Awesome.
Okay. So is this visible?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So can we start?
Yes. Introduce yourself and
Awesome.
feel free to start.
Right. Okay. So hi everyone. Welcome to Medical Student Association of India Exchanges presentation. I'm Meha, the National Officer on Research Exchanges incomings for this term. And with me I have the National Exchange Officer, Adarsh Srivastava. So thank you everyone for having us for this Exchanges Fair. And we'd love to introduce you guys to Exchanges and MSI. So to begin with, namaste to everyone. And this is a quote that we thought represents India the best. It's in Sanskrit and it can be translated to this is the land of spirituality endowed with dignity, that is peaceful, that bestows prosperity and happiness, that is luscious green with crops, pious and revered by millions of people. So India is a land of all geographical regions and all climates. As you can see, we have Rajasthan on the west coast of India, known for its vast deserts. We have Assam on the east of India, famous for its magnificent hills. We have Goa on the western coast of India, which is very famous for its beaches. We have Coorg in the south of India, which is famous for its beautiful waterfalls. Sikkim in the north, which is near the Himalayas, with vast mountains standing tall in the northeast of India. And we have Jodhpur in the state of Rajasthan, which is famous for its old forts and palaces that are full of history. So India's geographical location is such that you can experience all of these marvels of nature in one country. We have the Himalayas standing tall as an army on the northern border, the mangroves on the east, home to the Bengal tigers, and the beautiful backwaters of the south, and massive deserts in the west. So now that we've introduced you to the diversity in nature all over our country, you can also experience the ancient heritage of India through its temples, palaces, and forts, and all of which tell you the story of India's rich history. So you have the Ellora Caves, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site built in the 6th to 8th century. You have the oldest architectural site in India, which is the Sanchi Stupa, built by King Ashoka in the 3rd century. We have the Sun Temple, which is famous for its amazing architecture from the 13th century. And in the center, you can see the Red Fort, which is in the capital city of Delhi, which is today still where we celebrate Independence Day in India every year on the 15th of August. So the most exciting part of the presentation for us is introducing you to the delicacies of India. So everyone knows that Indian cuisine is many cuisines all wrapped up in one country. Each region is famous for its own local ingredients. So you have food that's rich in spices in the northeast and amazing seafood on the coastal regions of India. There's an abundance of both vegetarian and non-vegetarian options, whatever suits you best. So coming to our NMO, Medical Students Association of India, it's the first and largest nationally and internationally represented federation. We have 20,000 plus members all over India, 28 states and 8 union territories. And it was adopted as the 100th nation member organization of IFMSA in 2012. We have 6 standing committees, IFMSA Bioethics Unit and MSFC Unit. We've conducted over 800 events and 20 plus workshops, and we've got an outreach of over 210,000 in the last term alone, even though because of the pandemic, a lot of our events had to be conducted online. Right, so exchanges, we have 19 SCOPI active local committees at the moment. We have 12 SCORI active local committees, and we have 3 public health exchange activities at the moment with a hosting capacity of 350 plus. And we're happy to say that we accept students all year round, all months of the year. And we've also conducted a national social program before the pandemic, where we took students across 3 cities, namely Amritsar, which is in the west of India in Punjab, which is famous for, as you can see in the pictures, the famous Golden Temple, and for its vast farms. And Kasol in the northern part of India, which is a very famous hill station in India. And finally to Agra, which is probably the most famous cities in India, known for the Taj Mahal. So, in terms of the subjects that we offer a wide variety of subjects where you have surgery and orthopedics, pediatrics, medicine, but also more importantly, specific specialties like neurology, neurosurgery, cardiothoracic surgery. So, our incomings can choose from a vast variety of topics. Another advantage of choosing India is because of our very vast patient load. In any given hospital in India, you can expect a huge patient load. So you'll get a lot of hands on experience, even scrubbing in, doing suturing, assisting surgeries, radio diagnostics. You'll get a lot of experience with a lot of patients with all of these activities. So we have public health exchanges active in three colleges. Namely, the projects are study of substance abuse and rehabilitation in India in Vadodara and screening of diseases of public health importance in India, that's in Bangalore. So, specifically to a standing committee of research exchanges, we are ardently working to raise awareness regarding open science. And our main objective as a standing committee is to raise awareness about research and its importance in medical curriculum. So, we do that with our exchanges, like I said, in 12 active local committees at the moment. But we also do general research educational activities for all members of MSI and all medical students because we're working towards our objective of making the average medical student a research enthusiast like we are in Scori. So that includes basic science projects, clinical projects with lab work and without lab work. And currently, we are actively working towards initiating global action projects, hopefully within the next few months. And these are the research projects that we offer currently. As you can see, there's a wide variety in different specialties. The most famous ones are functional and radiological outcomes of degenerative lumbar spondylolisthesis treated with pedicle screw instrumentation. That's in ortho. And one of the most famous ones is improving stroke care in India, improvise. That's in neurology. Now I'll let Adarsh take over.
Thanks a lot, Meha. So, apart from public health exchanges and Scopy exchanges, we also have Ghost Corp, which was organized in the year 2019 across the cities of Pondicherry, Mumbai, and Lonavala. Next. We also had Scora exchanges organized in the year 2019 across the cities of Belgavi, Mumbai, and Ahmedabad. And currently, we have Scora exchanges going on in our country in the cities of Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore. Next slide, please. Yeah, so apart from all these, we do focus a lot on our academic quality. So first, we have a full-fledged point-based system where we ensure that the best student is selected for as an outgoing. Then before we have quarterly pre-departure training for the outgoing, in which we try to include a lot of points which are covered in the subsequent slides. Then, according to the AFC received, we distribute the incomings across various LCs based on the availability of the department and the local committees. Then, for the incomings, we have upon arrival training plans for them. Again, the points which are included in the upon arrival training are covered in the subsequent slides. So while we are activating any LC or while we are appointing the tutors, we ensure that the best departments are activated and the best tutors are recruited so that the incoming have the best experience. Then we have various educational activities arranged for the incomings, including social suturing workshop. Then we regularly update our student handbooks and logbooks. We work on the student exchange report, and at the end of the exchange, we evaluate the exchange of that incoming student to have the assessment of the impact that the whole system had on the student. Next slide, please. Yeah, so as I was talking about pre-departure training, which we have quarterly arranged for the outgoings of our NMO. So in this pre-departure training, we try to give them an introduction to the IFMSA or TNC with different terminologies. We try to give them some tips and tricks that can make their stay in the country uh, like better and like a bit easier. We talk about projects and clinical planning. We give them certain guidelines about the communication, the flow of communication that they should follow in case they are in any trouble or in case they want to talk to anyone. Then we also give them testimonials from the previous outgoing. We talk about infection prevention, database, visa, finance, ISIC, insurance, a very important part which is ethics and intercultural learning. So these are the topics which we try to include in our pre-departure training. Next slide, please. Now coming to UAT, which is upon arrival training, we try to integrate the knowledge of healthcare system, in the incoming students. So we give them a basic introduction to our whole, our country as a whole, and our healthcare system. So when we are introducing our country, we try to include points like language, social and cultural norms, law and fines, security tips, banks and currency conversion, public transportation related to the local community. And apart from this, we also try to give them a brief idea about the demographic structure and the population of the host country. When we talk to them about the healthcare system, we divide it into clerkship and research, and we try to cover the points such as the expectations and responsibilities of a student on exchange, ethics and clerkship, which I already told is really very important, and we deal with it, elaborately. Planned curriculum for the clinical clerkship, infection prevention protocols in our country, and anamnesis and examination protocols. Next slide, please. So now coming to the most important question, why you should choose a country, why you should sign a contract with it. So first of all, as Neha already told, we have a tremendous patient load. Each and every LC that we have has around, 1,000 or maybe 2,000, 3,000 or 4,000 patient load daily. So the incoming student can, practice a single thing again and again and can perfect his or her skill. Apart from this, in India, things are quite cheap. So our the whole structure of our exchange is quite economically sustainable both for our NMO and the incoming student. Apart from this, you also saw the diversity in culture, the cuisine, our rich heritage, which we are really proud of. And apart from this, we also have the diversity in our research projects. We starting from general surgery to super specialties such as neurosurgery, cardiothoracic surgery. We have research projects in almost every department. So that's the plus point of coming to India. Next slide, please. So I would like to end our presentation with a very, very famous saying in India, Atiti Devo Bhava, which means guest is God. So we treat our guests as God, and we never let them down and try to do everything which is possible in our limits to ensure that they have the best experience in our country. So thanks a lot. Thank you.
So thank you very much for your presentation. It was awesome to hear a little bit more of India. Um, I was very excited to hear it, but we have some questions. Let me just grab the questions. Okay. Um, I think many of those questions you guys already brought into your presentation, but just to you know to solve the questions. First one, let me just okay. First one, is the cost of living expensive?
No, like Adarsh mentioned in the presentation, one of the huge benefits of choosing India as an incoming would be that the cost of living is not that expensive at all. So, just economically, we're all medical students. We know that like we need to consider the economics of choosing which country we'd like to go on exchange for. India, in that way, is a great option because it really isn't that expensive at all to come here. So for anyone that's a huge issue, it'd be like India would be a great choice for you because it's not very expensive at all.
Great.
Yeah.
So you said that you are receiving incomings in every month of the year, right? So what month do you think is the best one to go on an exchange to India?
Yeah, so basically we have maximum number of incoming students coming to our country in the months of July and August. I feel that these are the best months because most of the students have vacations during this period, and given the fact we have a lot of exchange students coming in these months, it is a bit easy for us to accommodate them and have any social program organized for them because when we have large number of people coming to our country, we can get things at a much cheaper rate.
Yes, here in Brazil, it's the same. In the NEM, it's the same. We receive a lot of incomings in July and August, and we try to accommodate them all to bring a nice national social program, and it's pretty much the same. Same. Okay, so the last question would be: do you think speaking English is enough to communicate in the hospital, in the projects, if it's a score exchange, and in everyday life?
Yeah, absolutely. I think English is enough to communicate, but just in case, we do provide translators. So, for the hospital specifically, because a translator may be required, we do offer that. But English is very widely spoken in India. It should be smooth, especially in like a medical environment with students and everyone. English is it should be fine to communicate with all the students and everyone.
Great, awesome. So, Renato,
I
do you
have one
have?
personal question for you. So, do you have a national social program?
So basically, we have started accepting incoming students after a gap of 2.5 years, and like I proudly say that the first incoming from Skopje has, landed in India today itself. So we have accepted the first incoming student today itself. So for the first few months, we have, decided to not conduct any NSP because we are trying to uh, focus on the core issues that an incoming students may experience, and once those are worked out, we may have an NSP in the future.
All right, thank you. So,
Okay, so I believe we don't have more questions for you guys. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was awesome to hear a little bit more from your program, from China, yeah, from India. Sorry, and yeah, thank you very much. Do you want to leave a final message?
sure,
Thanks a
sure.
lot for thanks a lot for having us here.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, we are the ones to thank you for accepting the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Então, gente, essa foi a apresentação da Índia, muito massa. E agora a gente vai para o próximo convidado. China aparentemente não vai. A representante da China tinha me dito que ela tinha uma prova às 9 horas local, né, daqui, e que ela iria entrar antes, só que ela não me respondeu. Então, acredito que ela não vem. E, por seguinte, a gente teria Singapura.
Às 9 horas.
Isso.
Então a gente vai esperar eles chegarem pra gente dar prosseguimento no Exchange Fair. A gente pede só que vocês esperem mais um tempinho.
Já voltamos, pessoal.
Bem, gente, voltamos. Só deixa eu... Amiga, eu acho que... Será que não é a Indonésia que tá aqui? Eu tô pensando melhor. Eu acho que é Indonésia. Hello, dear. I'm so Sabla. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it wrong. Are you ready? I think not. Então, gente, na verdade a gente confundiu. A gente vai esperar pela Singapura. A gente achou que fosse a ANEL da Singapura, mas não é, é da Indonésia. Então, daqui 10 minutos a gente volta de novo. Perdão. Então, gente, a gente voltou agora. Singapura chegou. A gente vai dar prosseguimento às apresentações. Hey, Eleni. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Nice to
Oh,
meet everyone here.
yeah, nice to meet you too. So, do you want to introduce yourself to our students?
Sure. I am Elaine. I am one of the neos from Singapore, AMSA SG, Singapore. And unfortunately, today my Elio and my other neo can't join us, but I'll be here to present, about Singapore.
Oh, thank you. So, do you have a presentation you want to share to our students?
Yes, just give me a moment.
Okay. If you need some help, just tell us.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a moment, yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Share screen. Okay. Sorry.
No worries. Just take your time.
Okay. Are
We
you
can
guys
see it.
seeing my screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'd just like to start my presentation with a video that represents Singapore first.
Our story
Can you hear
is
the
a
audio?
little different. We are just a little red dot on the world map, once nothing but a fishing village, today a bustling metropolis. We are a melting pot of cultures. An Instagrammer's haven. A city in a garden. And an island paradise with no lack of fun. Above all, Singapore is a leading innovator, a thriving global financial hub, and a prime destination for tourists around the world. So how did we do it? By creating opportunities, by connecting to the world. As we opened our doors to you, so you did to us.
Yay, okay. Okay. So now I'd just like to present a little more about, wrong button. A little more about AMSA Singapore. So this is just our organization of our executive committee. So relevant to Scopy and our NMO would just be this guy, Cheng Hong, who is our NMO president and in charge of the global side of AMSA Singapore. And under Cheng Hong, under IFMSA, there are then the Scopy and the NEOs would be me and Raksha. I'll introduce Raksha later. So just a little bit more about Singapore's healthcare system, just to let you know about what you'll be experiencing if you come to Scopy Singapore. So just an introduction of our organization. The only important thing you need to know in this whole diagram is just this three. So under our Ministry of Health, there are three groups of hospitals, and that is National Healthcare Group, Singapore Health Services, and the National University Health System. So NHG, SingHealth, and NUH. Yeah. And under each of these groups, there are their own hospitals, which I will introduce later. But just to let you know, our LC is, we unfortunately have only one LC, National University of Singapore, and the name of the medical school is Yong Loo School of Medicine. Unfortunately, the other two medical schools have not collaborated with AMSA Singapore's Scopy, and we're still in the progress of trying to get them on board Scopy, and that's just taking a little while. But we really hope that in the next few years, we'll be able to sign contracts with these other schools, with these other medical schools, so that they'll be able to So we'll be able to have more bilateral contracts between the LCs. Yeah, and so we won't only have one LC to liaise things with. But regardless of how many universities we have, the number of hospitals we have for exchanges will be the same, because all our students from all the universities or all the medical schools are dispatched to all the hospitals in Singapore. So just a little bit more about our hospitals. Like I said just now, there were three organizations or health groups. So under NUHS, there are this list of hospitals, and NHG this list, SingHealth this list. As you can see, we have many different hospitals. But what's important to note is that we have decentralized our healthcare system to different types of hospitals. So if you see things like polyclinic, it's like those little government clinics that are the first line of meeting patients, and where patients will be referred to other hospitals if need be. So we have acute hospitals, which will be those that just named generally are named generically, like this general hospital. But we also have community hospitals, which are hospitals where are for patients who are in less acute states. So for example, if a patient is ready to is no longer in an acute state and is ready to be discharged, they'll be discharged. And but let's say they still need to continue with some therapy, for example, continue physiotherapy after, let's say, a 68-year-old elderly man has fallen, no longer in an acute state, surgery is done, everything's recovering, but he still needs physiotherapy and is unable to be sent home to live independently. Then these patients will be sent to community hospitals to continue their therapy and just make sure that everything is stable first before they get sent home. So in summary, basically, if you are interested in the different types healthcare settings in Singapore, we have polyclinics, which are the first line, like general practitioners, family physicians. And then we have acute hospitals where all your acute things are, and then community hospitals where you see maybe more of patients going through long-term therapy or patients who have more chronic illnesses. So these are just this is just an introduction. So in case you are looking at which hospital to go to in Singapore, you have a better idea of what each hospital does. We do have certain hospitals that are not better, but maybe like more specialized in certain things. For example, not that they're more specialized, but maybe they are newer, so they have a greater focus on a different thing. For example, Khoo Teck Puat. Where is Khoo Teck Puat? Okay, I can't find it in this list. Oh yes, here. Okay, Khoo Teck Puat is quite focused on rehabilitation, and so is Tan Tock Seng. So Tan Tock Seng is the only hospital in Singapore where there is a specialized lab for rehab, and they have all the new modern equipment to help patients with their rehab. So for example, when they're trying to rehab a patient who had just recovered from a stroke, they have this robotic machine where the patients get strapped to it. But so that as the patients are learning to bear weight on their legs, the robot follows their actions, but at the same time is there to bear their weight in case their legs give way or something. Yeah, so different hospitals have certain specialties, and this is just something you want to look at if you are looking, if you're deciding which hospital you want to apply to in Singapore. Yeah, so if you're looking for more family medicine, look for the word polyclinic. If you're looking for acute things, one that's really good for surgery would be Singapore General Hospital. This one, Singapore General Hospital. Tan Tock Seng is really good for rehab. But in general, all of them, of course, cover the different departments. Yeah. So let me see, is there anything else? Okay, I must apologize. I'm so sorry. My slides are ugly because we've just ended our exams a few days ago. So I hope at least the information is clear enough for you. Yeah, and Yes. Okay. So as I said, regardless of what university we are attached to, all the hospitals are available to any. Even if we have different universities that are attached to Scope, all the hospitals are available because Singapore's medical students get dispatched to all the hospitals regardless of which university you study in. Yeah. Okay, and our social program. I am so sorry again. I have to apologize. I did not really prepare slides for this, so I will use our social program booklet. Okay. So first, I'd like to say that this is not, yeah, okay. First, I'd like to say that Singapore is a very diverse, okay, I know there are lots of words, but if you can bear with me, just listen to what I'm saying. So Singapore is a very diverse culture. We have, we like to generally say that we have 4 races, but of course, the races are wide. So generally, there's Chinese, Malay, Indian, and others, but others includes Caucasians, includes Eurasians, includes any other nationality or race. Yeah, so as written here, Mandarin, which is the main language spoken among the Chinese people. Tamil is the main Indian language spoken among the Indian people. Bahasa Melayu is the main language spoken among the Malay people. And these words you see, Hokkien and Cantonese, they're just other dialects of the Chinese race. Yeah, so when you come to Singapore, we will definitely expose you to as many different cultures as possible. The place, like in terms of the place, the location, and in terms of the food especially. And I think the food is something that you would enjoy most because we just have like the great range of different cultured foods. So one place where you would see, I'm so sorry that I have to do this, but it's so embarrassing to have to Google to you, but I just like to show you with pictures so you like have a better idea, of course. So one thing that's quite unique to Singapore's hawker centers is just like a vast area, and there are just many stalls in here, and each stall serves different food that caters to different taste and of course of different cultures or races. So yeah, this is like one of the unique things about Singapore. That we have just like a large communal area where you can come and choose whatever food you want. Yeah. Okay. And then, so this is something I think would be quite cute if you come to Singapore to learn about. We have, as I said, we are a very diverse country, right? And we have diverse races. And even the way we order coffee or tea is has a mix of languages. So, for example, this is our coffee, just to order coffee and the different types of coffee. We have a ton of names, but you just need to know what they mean. So, for example, we have coffee with no sugar, no milk. That's kopi o kosong. If you want coffee with butter, it's kopi kauyo. So, just to explain how we are like diverse in racially. Kopi is coffee in Malay, Bahasa Melayu. Kosong is 0 in Melayu. So that just means you don't have anything. But if you look at kopi kauyo, kopi is Malay for, again, coffee. But kauyo is Mandarin or one of the dialects, I'm not very sure, sorry, for butter. So even just to order food, there's like a whole range of names. And yeah, I think it would be something fun to learn. Yeah. Yes, okay, so like gao is, kopi gao just means thick coffee. Yeah, thick coffee. So coffee, gao is in one of the dialects for thick, yeah. And okay, these are just places to eat that you guys can explore in our booklet. So as I was talking about different cultures, if there are places to explore in Singapore for a certain culture, a stronger sense of that, a stronger presence of that culture. So for Indian culture, there's Little India. For Malay culture, there's Haji Lane, and Golden Mile Complex is Thai culture. Thai, the race Thai is not really like a so-called national race, but we do have a certain presence in our country, in Singapore, because there are many Thai people who come to Singapore. So we like to create a place where different nationalities can feel at home in Singapore. Peranakan is something that's really interesting. I think this is quite unique to Singapore and Malaysia. So Peranakan culture is quite, like I said, unique, and that's because it's something that has came from Chinese immigrants last time. So people from China who came to Singapore and raised a family with the local Malays in Singapore. So as that goes down, as that generation goes down, so let's say a Chinese father and a local Malays Singaporean at that time, then the child will be called Peranakan. But to continue that line of Peranakan culture or Peranakan race, the same has to be that let's say that daughter has to also marry a Peranakan male, and then as they raise a family together, that family line becomes Peranakan. So you'll find that Peranakan culture, food, the way they dress is a whole mix of is a nice blend of Chinese and Malay culture. So, for example, I'm so sorry, this is embarrassing, but I want to show you with pictures. So this is something that's quite unique to Peranakan culture. Not quite, it is unique to Peranakan culture. It's called the Baju Kabaya, sorry. Yeah, and so it's this very specific type of design, embroidery, and set piece where the traditional costume is like this. Yeah, and you would see that sometimes this is a Peranakan wedding. The male's traditional costume is more of resembles the traditional Chinese costume, as you can see. I'm not sure if you may not be very familiar with it, but trust me, this is close to a traditional Chinese. I forgot what the Chinese name for this is, but the bride's traditional costume is closer to the Malay traditional costume, which is longer in length, and the embroidery, the design is more traditionally Malay. So this is an example of how we have very unique culture in Singapore, and there are just places in Singapore where you can learn so much about these cultures, the different cultures, and just try their food also. Yeah. Okay. There are certain nice places to visit. It's just a list, but I'm just orientating you on our LC booklet. I mean, sorry, on our Singapore booklet, so you can read it later. We do have. Okay, so just to orientate you, our LC booklet is just divided to east, west, north, and south, so that you are able to navigate yourself. And I'll just show you a little bit on how convenient it is to go around Singapore. So this, I'm not sure if you can see this, if you saw the island map just now, is Singapore's transport system. So you can literally go anywhere with this MRT, our mass rapid transport system. It's pretty easy to navigate yourself around Singapore, because we're quite small. Yeah. Yes. Well, these are just a list of different things you can do for different days of the week, morning and afternoon. Yep. Just different things. Yeah. So we have designed our LC booklet such that if you have a different day and a different timing, there are certain things you can just look up and then see what you can do with them. Yeah. And I hope the social program was enough for you guys. Do you have any questions? I'm open to them. Or if you'd like to know more about any part of Singapore, culture, food, transport, yes, feel free to ask me. If not, that is all for me. And big thank you from me. This is Raksha, my other NEO. This is Jung Hong, our NMO president. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Eleni, for presentation. You don't need to be embarrassed for anything. You just did everything amazingly.
Thank you.
So we have some questions for you.
Sure.
Some from our students. So one of them, I couldn't have time to write here, but one of them asked if there is any requirements, like, oh, so the students need to be in the internship, or the students must be in the clinical practice. Is there any level of studies required to go to Singapore?
Yes, I think unfortunately for Singapore, our Scopy program is only allowed for students who are in their clinical years. So after you've done like the non-clinical part, yeah, so that because when you, okay, I'll tell you more about what you might do in Singapore if you are attached to one of our hospitals. So as a clinical student in Singapore, it may be a little bit intense, but I don't think the doctors will like be very hard on you guys. But we do have a habit of the students following the different clinical groups. Okay, so in Singapore, when you go to the clinical years, each student has their clinical group, which is maybe a group of 6 students. So you'll probably be attached to a clinical group, and that clinical group goes around to look in the wards, to clerk the patients, meaning it is a bit intense, but meaning students will come in about an hour before the consultant comes. They'll start checking on the patient, they'll clerk the patient, they'll take the history of the patient, so that when the consultant comes, the students report to the consultant what they have observed of the student, what they think may be good or not, may not be good. And then that's where the learning comes, because then the consultant will explain. So when the consultant comes, he or she does his own check, and then so then they'll ask like, okay, so tell me what you observed of this patient, and then the students will present, talk about what they have in mind, and then the consultants will correct them. So I would say that the educational value is pretty. I would say it's good, but it may be a bit intense. But I think you will enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. The other one is the cost of living expensive when compared to other countries in Asia?
Okay. Compared to other countries in Asia, probably more expensive, honestly, than Southeast Asian countries. But if you compare to countries in East Asia, so China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, among these countries, I think it's about the same. I mean, the cost of living, proportionate to how much you earn, that is. Yeah, and proportionate to your currency and all that. I think it's about the same. But for Southeast Asian countries, I would say the cost of living is higher in Singapore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the last one is your country safe for LGBTQIA plus people?
Okay, this is tricky, honestly. I would say it's safe. It is safe. Yes. But if you're talking, I think that's it. Full stop. It is safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Eleni, for being here with us today, for accepting the invitation to participate in our exchange fair. As I said before, you did your presentation amazingly. You don't need to be sorry for anything. You don't need to apologize for anything. And I hope to see you in the August meeting. And thank you very much for being here. Do you want to say something to our students?
No, not really, but thank you so much for having me, the organizers of this, Renato, and all the students who are listening out there. And if there's any question, don't hesitate to contact your NEO, and then will contact me and all that. Yeah. And is there a place where I can send the booklet if you want?
Sorry?
Is there a place where I can send the social program booklet if you guys are interested?
Of course, you can send me on WhatsApp.
Okay, sure. Cool. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Então, gente, China tá aqui. Então, como a apresentação deles é bem rápida, a gente vai colocar, a gente vai fazer a apresentação deles e logo após a gente prossegue, certo, com a Indonésia. Eu vou... Hey, Gretchen, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to
Awesome.
meet you.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm sorry for that. I just checked the time for the wrong. I think it was 8 p.m., but otherwise, sorry for that. Really sorry for that.
Don't worry, don't
Okay.
worry.
Yeah,
We are still online, so it's okay. Yeah, so feel free to introduce yourself and talk a little bit more of China.
Okay. I'm so glad to be invited to join this conversation with you guys to talk about the exchange condition. And to be honestly, the University of China have delayed project for almost 3 years due to the COVID-19. And the COVID-19 has a large negative influence on not only the exchange program, but also our daily life. And the 17 projects on the database that you can say are the old ones. Yeah, they are not refreshed, but at the same time, all the universities in China need to delay the projects. It's extremely pity, and we also feel helpless for that. But when any prof or university would like to receive the exchange student, or the condition of COVID-19 in China would become less threatening, we will refresh information in the database first time. And if any other country or you guys want to sign contract with the China, please send email to me or just contact me on the WhatsApp. Then we can take exchange. I could communicate with you at the fastest speed. And also at the same time, our many students in China prefer to take an unilateral exchange program. So if you can receive unilateral contract, then also please tell me, and we are looking forward for that, and we are really appreciate. We are still waiting for normal exchange program without influence of COVID-19, and hope that will come soon. I also looking forward to having meeting with you in person. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Gretchen. So are you joining the GA, the August meeting?
Pardon?
The General Assembly of FMSA?
No.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you for accepting this invitation. And yes, we will talk later about the contract and units.
Yes, thank you. And we are feel so helpless because of the COVID-19, and all of the students in China, I think they are looking forward to take some exchange program, and we also looking for that, but we can't do anything in this condition. Yeah.
We see. So thank you very much. Ok, então, galera, agora a gente vai ter a última apresentação da Indonésia. So, hey guys, finally! We are totally sorry about the schedule, but yes, thank you very much for joining us today. We want to know a little bit more about Indonesia and your exchange program, scope program, score, if you have scope fee and all that. So be free to start your presentation, introduce yourselves, and you know.
Okay, maybe Afif, you can start introducing yourself. Then
All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, your local time, of course.
I'd like to introduce myself first. My name is Afif, and I'm the elected Nori of Chimsa Indonesia 2022-2023. So, Salsa, can you introduce yourself, if you may?
Okay, wait a moment. Trying to. Wait, can you see the slide? Or is it?
Not now.
Yeah, can you see it? No.
No, not yet.
Okay, did you see it? Or is it?
No. So
No,
did you click on share?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Or what do you share? Okay. Okay, it says locked. So, wait a minute. I tried to open the system preference first. Maybe. Okay. 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 Is it shown?
Now we can see it.
Oh,
Okay. Chacha, may I start first?
Yes, of course.
Okay, again, good morning, everyone. So today we would like to give a presentation about the exchange in Indonesia. In here we have SCORI and SCOPI programs. So yeah, you can choose whichever you like the most. Next. So CHIMSA stands for Center for Indonesian Medical Students Activities. CHIMSA is a medical student organization originated in Indonesia, which is based on activities. Of course, we have several we have several characteristics such as non-profit, nationalist, non-governmental, independent, non-political, and non-partisan. We were established on 6 May 2001, and currently we have more than 10,000 members spread across 29 faculties around Indonesia. We are, of course, affiliated with IFMSA. Next. So about the SCORI and the SCOPI itself, currently we have 15 locals joining the SCORI CHIMSA, and of course 17 locals joining SCOPI CHIMSA. Next. So first thing first, we would like to talk about the COVID-19 situation in Indonesia. Next. Here's the most updated information about regarding COVID-19 in Indonesia. As you can see here, the number is not that high. It's around 600 or so in the entire country, which comprises of 249 million people. But currently, the trend is getting higher and higher. But hopefully, it will not stay long that way. Next. So here's the vaccine coverage for Indonesia. As you can see here, we managed to give the vaccine for almost everyone in this country. Next. So we are going to talk about the Indonesian health system next. We have two type of health coverage for in our country, which is the JKN program and the BPJS, or which stands for the one who provide us with the health insurance or so like that. Next. So we are required to have a card which indicates of our membership, which we almost monthly pay to the government so that we can have this card and the coverage that it provides. This card is called Kartu Indonesia Sehat, which literally means the card of healthy Indonesia, or like so. Next. So JKN, or Jaminan Kesehatan Nasional, or it literally means the insurance for national health. It has been established since 2014, and it's obligatory for every Indonesian and all foreigners who live in Indonesia for about more than 6 months or so. And we are obligated to register ourselves to the primary healthcare institutions so that we can have the benefit that it provides. So we have adopted the vertical referral system, which means that we are getting higher and higher of the health provider ranks. Like when you are getting sick, we first go to the primary centers, and then the primary centers will refer us to the higher institutions or facilities so that we can have our health checked. Next. So here are several of the members that are covered by the JKN programs, which comprises of the national civil servants, of course, workers, local civil servants, and others. Next. So we are going to talk about the SCORI program in Indonesia. Next. As you can see here, the focus area of the SCORI comprises of 4 pillars of SCORI itself, which included the research exchange promotion, and research activities. Next. Again. For the type of the projects that we provided, it is also the same as other SCORI, comprises of basic science, clinical research with or without lab work, and global action projects. Next. So here are several examples of our projects. You can see here we have several that includes cardiology, public health, pharmacology. Next. Oh yeah, and for the public health itself is a gap project. So we are we have a lot of projects that are of a good potential of being gap projects. So if you want to really have the Indonesian healthcare vibes, or maybe the aura, maybe you can really join our gap projects, because I think it will be very worth it. So we have several such as pneumology, biology, and biochemistry. Next. And there are lots of other projects. Next, you can just skip it. So as you can see in this graph, we are having such rise for the exchange students that are getting in Indonesia. As you can see here, so that we are anticipating, because the COVID-19 numbers dropping currently, we're anticipating for more exchange students to go to Indonesia after about 2 years of hiatus. Next. Here are the list. The number of all contracts for SCORI Chimsa Indonesia from 2016 to 2022. We on average received 68 incomings and 70 outgoings annually. Next. Here's the distribution of the countries that are getting to Indonesia on the SCORI exchange program. Next. Here's the academic quality of research exchange, which your Nori will provide you later when you're getting exchange later. Next. So if you want to know more about this Kori Chimsa Indonesia research program, you can find us through several social medias such as website, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Issue, and Instagram also. Or I'll provide you with the needed booklet later. Thank you. Chacha may continue the presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Afif, for the presentations. My name is Salsa. Usually people call me Chacha, and I'm the neo in for Chimsa. I'm here also with neo out Chimsa, which is Ariana, and I'm gonna start the presentations about Skopi Chimsa. So here's the Skopi Chimsa. We have 17 local committees. Okay, this is the actions profile of Skopi Chimsa, and in a normal year without the global shutdown for COVID, we would send around 200 outgoing students each year and host around also the same number of incoming students spread across our 17 local committees. And so the majority of incomings came from France, Egypt, and also Poland, and just the same as the story before. Here are the chart. So, okay, next. Okay. So here are our departments. Our most beloved departments include general surgery, internal medicine, obsgyn, pediatrics, and also cardiology. And other than that, tropical medicine and emergency medicine are also very popular amongst incoming students. And this is the testimonials. Here are some of the stories from our previous incoming students. And as you can see, they had a terrific time with Skopi Chimsa throughout their exchange. So here are the incoming from France and also Slovakia. So for the incoming students, most of our universities still have semester break until August, which means we unfortunately are not able to host any incoming until August of 2021. So, but for today's, we actually already had an incoming. One incoming already arrived in Solo a couple of weeks ago. So we already accepted incoming starting from June, and we hope that we also have a full month ahead. And furthermore, the Delta variant of COVID is currently most prominent problem in Indonesia, but we also heard about the newest and the latest news about COVID that Afif already mentioned before, that the COVID cases is actually dropped down a lot. And yeah, so these are the updates. Is actually, I don't think it's really updated right now, but actually we already host an incoming, and probably the challenges right now is about our visa, but we now also allowed for visa on arrival. So yeah, it could be organized, and as long as you guys communicated with the neos and for our local committees, it should be fine. Okay, so you can all check the actions condition for Chimsa Indonesia on this link, bit.ly/chimsaec, and for the locals, the 17 local committees, bit.ly/chimsalcs. Okay, and so we have an alternative for if a local or local committees cannot open for hosting or sending an outgoing. We have a virtual exchange. We have national guideline for virtual exchange in Chimsa, so it's actually supervised from the national. And some local committees have already initiated this virtual exchange. So first we have in 2022, we have Space by Universitas Gadjah Mada, and in July 2021, we have arrived from Universitas Erlangga and Universitas Brawijaya. And the latest one we have in February 2022, we have NERV by Universitas Indonesia and Universitas Pelita Harapan. So for this, as you can see, for July and also February, there was a collaborations. So our guideline right now is actually to have 2 or more universities to have a collaboration to make a virtual exchange. So for you guys to have experience not just one culture from one university and one region of or island, you can actually experience more than that. So this is the Indonesian culture, and through this exchange program, we hope that you will not only experience our healthcare system firsthand, but also could taste some of our culture. So Indonesia is an archipelago country with 17,000 plus islands. And speaking of culture, Indonesia has plenty of it with more than 500 spoken languages. And folks, we are of 270 million people. And as our lingua franca, we speak Bahasa Indonesia. We are the most trilingual nations in the world and speaking Bahasa, at least one vernacular and also English. So here are the province, folks and languages, and the populations. And here are the culinary of Indonesia. Some of our tasty dishes, our national food includes nasi goreng, soto, sate, and also fan favorite is rendang. And each provinces and each region have their own culinary, of course, that I obviously can't mention them all. Yeah, and this is also, we will take you to see some of our beautiful arts and cultures, such as traditional fashion like batik, dances such as riok and Ramayana ballet, and music like gamelan and other amazing art forms. And Indonesia acknowledges 6 official religions. Those are Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, Confucianism, Buddhism, and also the oldest, which is Hinduism. Okay, next. So through our social programs, of course, we will also take you to see some of our most famous landmarks like Borobudur and Prambanan Temple or Mount Bromo. And most importantly, we will take you to the tropical, white-sanded, warm beaches and that you probably are longing for. So there are lots of it and you can check them through the link that we've presented before. So. And yeah, you can find us here, especially on our website and Instagram page, which we update very regularly, and also on our issue for important publications. You can also send me an email if sometimes a random question pops in your head that requires me to answer. Yeah. Okay, so that's the presentations from us. If we still have the time, can we also maybe share a couple of documents or maybe a video? So how many?
Of course, you can feel free to present anything you want to.
Okay, thank you. So probably about we can go with the documents that I'd like to share is actually a okay. It's our exchange profile book, so we're just gonna skim through it to show you some of the details. Okay. Or maybe, okay, I think it's a good idea to just share a video, so it's concluded. It's about the wonderful Indonesia, if you guys haven't seen it yet. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's sharing.
Well, do you want to present anything else to show to our students?
Okay, thank you. I think if Afif and Ariana maybe wants to add something. Or...
Okay. Okay, no.
Okay, I think not, Chacha, because Indonesia is just that vast of a land. It is very, very, yeah, it is just too much to describe, I think.
Yeah, like your country is so beautiful. And I always get very shocked by the amount of islands you have there. Like it's so that there are just a lot of them. So thank you very much, Salsabila, Mohammed, and Oriana for being here with us, for presenting about Indonesia. So we have some questions for you from our students. So the first one is, what months are the best ones to go for an exchange in Indonesia?
Chacha, you might want to answer this one, because personally I think there is no best month, because we have only 2 seasons and both are, yeah, they both have their own beauties. Like if you like, or you're like a pluviophile, or people that like having rain, you can go during the rainy season, which again during approximately around October to May, I think. I forgot. But yeah, I think both seasons are good for you to go to Indonesia.
All right, thank you. The next one is, do you have scope and score programs besides score and scope?
Okay, I think this is the is it related to the exchange, or it's only the standing committees?
No, I think the exchange. I think the students are
The exchange.
just asking
Oh
about
yeah.
the exchange.
From Scora, we currently we don't have that yet, but we participate on the Scora exchange programs. And for Scope, we already assessed last year, just from around May, and I think it's from March to May. I think we already assessed the local committees' readiness for this scope programs. I believe it's public health exchange that these questions probably meant. So yeah, we just hope that we are ready for this exchange programs probably next year. But for this year, I guess it's just we have to prepare for it first. But yeah, we already starting to prepare this exchange program.
All right. Is there any required level of studies?
I like to answer this question. So for studies, I think not. As far as I concern, I think no, because we actually we generally accept medical students. For the SCORE exchange, we can accept for both the preclinical and clinical years, but for this Scopy, we only accept the clinical years. Like so. But if we have a project that requires any type or requirements, we will put it in the database so that we can let you know that that certain competencies are required for the exchange itself.
Okay. The next one is, the English certificate can be basic, or it needs to be accredited by Cambridge or TOEFL, IELTS, for example. I think basic, it's not like, so about the level of English a person must have, but about the proof of speaking the language.
So what we use is actually on our, you can check also on our exchange conditions. We must have a minimum level of English proficiency by CFR B2, and from is it TOEFL or anything else, you can just translate those scores. And yeah, we want it to be certified. It's from a certified institutions where you can take them. And as you guys also may know that a IFMSA actually provided us like emergency letters, right? Emergency letters where you incomings or outgoings can ask for news for the signs and just put your score there. But actually, to from us to go to Indonesia, we don't accept those. So we only accept those that certified officially from an institutions. Yeah. So the level is CEFRP2.
Okay. The last one is it secure to... No, sorry. It's not this one, it's the other. It's this one. Is your country dangerous for women going alone?
Okay. So is your country dangerous for women going along? Is sorry, it's really wide, it's really broad, right? So I don't think it's dangerous, but maybe some parts of the towns, and it actually depends really. So we're not really, I can't really answer that, but yeah, it's probably better for you to not just go like at night, like from 11 to like 2 a.m. But yeah, it's actually fine because the majority of us is actually Muslim, right, in Indonesia. So like from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. people actually already up and go pray or something. So yeah, it's actually lots of people around. So it's pretty much safe, I can say so.
Okay, thank you. And I'm really sorry if these questions caused you some embarrassment. Sorry for that. And so thank you very much for accepting to participate in our exchange fair, for being here with us. I hope to see all of you in Istanbul in the GA in August. And thank you very much for being here. So do you want to say anything else to our students? Last words?
Maybe Ariana can say something.
All right, hey guys. Sorry for being unable to turn on my camera. Yeah, Caca and Afif already tell you guys all about Cinta Indonesia. I just want to remind you, don't forget to visit our social media wherever you are, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Issue, wherever social media you have. Just please visit us. And if you have any question that pops up anytime, you can just DM us on Instagram and we will gladly answer it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, sorry if some of our questions caused some embarrassment to you. Again, I'm really sorry. So thank you guys, and I hope to see you in August meeting.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Thank you.
Então, gente, essa foi a nossa última apresentação de hoje. E foi a última Exchange Fair também. A gente vai agora começar... antes da gente começar os sorteios, eu vou passar o formulário de presença. Só vou achar ele aqui um minuto. Eu acabei de ver o formulário de presença. Então, gente, preencham o formulário. Vou dar uns 2 minutinhos para vocês preencherem. para a gente começar com os sorteios. A gente vai começar primeiramente com os do Scope, depois vai ter o do Score. Então, eu vou contar aqui uns 2 minutinhos para vocês preencherem, para depois vocês conseguirem focar nos dos intercâmbios propriamente. Então, gente, deu os 2 minutinhos aqui para vocês preencherem o Forms. A gente vai agora voltar para os sorteios propriamente ditos. Eu vou então compartilhar minha tela juntamente com de onde. Tem no post do Instagram do DENEM que a gente divulgou o Exchange Fair, lá tem direitinho os países. Lembrando que antes de ter participado do sorteio, tinha que ter lido as Exchange Conditions de cada país, para ver se vocês têm possibilidade de realmente fazer intercâmbio. Às vezes vocês não têm nível de estudo suficiente e essas coisas. Então tem que ter tido visto a Exchange Conditions. Eu vou abrir então um sorteador online. A gente vai começar com Paquistão. Então, eu vou dar 2 minutos para vocês responderem esse forms, que é bem curtinho, para vocês conseguirem participar do sorteio. No caso, é Paquistão Scope. A gente vai começar com os do Scope. Beatriz, na verdade ele estava fechado, mas eu abri. Eu vi ele aqui agora, eu abri ele já. Aí eu vou dar mais 30 segundos a mais. Então, gente, eu vou fechar o Forms. Vou fazer o sorteio. Vou projetar minha tela para todo mundo ver. Então, nós tivemos 9 respostas. Isso. Então, como começou no número 2, já que a primeira linha é justamente dados e nome completo, a gente vai considerar do número 2 ao número 10. Perdão pelo barulho. Como são 3 vagas, 2 ao número 10. Os números sorteados foram 9, 2 e 4. Então, Alice, o Natan e a Larissa. Não, a Larissa não. A Beatriz. Vou até confirmar. 9, 2 e 4. Então, a Alice Fávaro da Uninove, o Natan da UFES e a Beatriz da UEMS. Parabéns, gente. Peçam para as claves entrarem em contato com a SEV. Tem um documento que a gente já mandou, inclusive, no grupo de avisos, falando direitinho como tudo vai acontecer. E, basicamente, vocês pagam a primeira taxa e a gente encaminha as AFs para vocês. Então, agora eu vou sortear Filipinas. Esse é o Forms da Filipinas. Pode sortear o meu de novo, por favor. Alice, vou sortear depois no final. Gente, esse é o Forms da Filipinas, então vocês vão ter... Eu vou abrir ele, que eu acho que ele não está aberto de novo. Não está aberto. Então, eu abri, então a partir de agora eu vou contar 2 minutos. Filipinas é uma vaga. O link das Filipinas é o segundo? Isso, é o último que eu mandei. Gente, então deu tempo, eu vou fechar o Forms. Vou apresentar aqui a tela. Nós tivemos 17 respostas, então do número 2 ao número 18. E vai ser uma vaga. Número 2 ao número 18. O número sorteado foi o 16, que é a Rayane Vitória Costa, da Anhanguera Uniderp. Rayana, pede para sua Cleve entrar em contato. Se você não tem Cleve na sua faculdade, você não conseguiu contato, pede para... Manda uma mensagem no DM da DENEM, no Instagram da DENEM, pedindo ajuda, que a gente te ajuda por lá. Agora eu vou sortear Bangladesh. Vou enviar o link para vocês. Então, vocês têm 2 minutos para vocês responderem. Gente, vou fechar o Forms então. Nós tivemos 9 respostas. Nós tivemos então 9 respostas. Do número 2 ao número 10, então, uma vaga. O número sorteado foi o número 7, que foi a Thaís Moraes Quaio, da Unicap. Só para dizer, gente, como a gente falou, só para lembrar, caso alguém, só para lembrar dos outros dias, né? Caso alguém for sorteado 2 vezes, o que conta é o primeiro sorteio. Aí, no caso, caso alguém queira participar dos outros sorteios, basta ela sinalizar que aqui na live que não quer a vaga, que aí pode participar dos outros sorteios. É só para falar isso mesmo. Certo, agora a gente vai sortear. A gente vai sortear agora Índia, um scope na Índia. Vou abrir o Forms, que ele não está aberto de novo. Pronto, vocês vão ter 2 minutos para vocês responderem a partir de agora. Gente, sobre as vagas da desistência de hoje, do scope pelo menos, eu não vou sortear novamente. O que eu vou fazer é pegar essas vagas e fazer um novo sorteio mais para frente. Mas eu não vou sortear hoje de novo, porque senão a live vai ficar muito grande e ela já começou às 8, né? Então a gente não quer delongar ela mais. Então quem desistiu, quem não quiser participar do intercâmbio, é só não pagar a primeira taxa e pode participar dos outros sorteios, como quiser. Gente, vou fechar o Forms então. Nós tivemos 20 respostas. Vou projetar minha tela aqui. Então, Indy tínhamos 20 respostas, do número 2 ao número 21, e vão ser uma vaga. Isso. O número sorteado foi o 9. que é o João Victor Capelo Cruz, da Unifam. Parabéns, João Victor. João Victor. Entre em contato com a sua Cleve. Se você não tiver Cleve ou não conseguir contato, manda um DM no Instagram da DENEM. Agora eu vou sortear Tailândia? Isso, Tailândia. Que também é uma vaga. Vocês vão ter, então, 2 minutos para preencher. Gente, então deu 2 minutos. Vou gerar a planilha aqui. Meu Deus. Então, do número 2 ao número 24. E vai ser uma vaga. O número sorteado foi 23, que foi a Maria Valéria Ferreira de Souza, da Universidade Federal de Pernambuco. Então, Maria pede, entre em contato com a sua Cleve. Mesma coisa, se não responderem, manda um DM no nosso Instagram. Gente, o último sorteio do Scope, depois o Matheus vai fazer do Score, vai ser Indonésia, que a gente teve hoje a apresentação. Então, aí não abriu de novo. Vou abrir, gente, as respostas. Pronto, agora vocês conseguem se inscrever. Pronto, comecei a contar 2 minutos. Gente, eu abri o Forms, é só vocês apertar F5 que ele atualiza. Eu demorei um pouquinho para abrir. Gente, só lembrando que o Forms que está aberto é da Indonésia, que Tailândia, no caso, que foi o último, já foi o sorteio. Então, se inscrevam somente no Forms da Indonésia. Vou dar mais uns minutos. Uns minutos não, mais alguns segundos. Então é isso, gente. Vou fechar o Forms. Nós tivemos 21 respostas. Vou projetar minha tela. Então, nós tivemos 21 respostas, do número 2 ao número 22. Vai ser uma vaga. 2 ao 22. O número sorteado foi o 21, que foi a Nadia da UFPB, perdão, Nadia
Nadiajda vai, Charlie, ou vai, Charlie. Eu ainda não peguei, ela é da minha sala.
Perdão,
A Nádia ganhou. Parabéns, Nádia.
A Nádia, perdão, desculpa. Parabéns. Entre em contato com a sua Cleve. E é isso. Amigo, agora você dá progressimento Nossa, gente. A dicção tá horrível. Procedimento no score.
Beleza, vamos lá. Amigo, você pode sair se você quiser, tá? Pode descansar que eu finalizo se você quiser. Então, vamos lá, gente, ó. Para não ter desistências e tal, o que é que a gente vai fazer? Eu vou dar 5 minutos para vocês lerem as exchanges do Score. Quais serão as vagas que a gente vai sortear? Vou até colocar aqui embaixo. Índia, Indonésia, Tunísia e Sudão. certo? Então, por que Tunísia e Sudão? Porque são vagas... Ai, meu Deus, foi tudo errado aqui. Mas Índia, Indonésia, Tunísia e Sudão. Tunísia e Sudão porque foram vagas remanescentes do sorteio passado, e aí a gente vai sortear de novo para ver se algum cristão consegue a vaga e vai para o intercâmbio. Algum indivíduo, certo? Então, leiam as exchange conditions do score. Tá aí na tela. E aí, se vocês se interessarem por algum desses 4 países ou pelos 4 países, leiam. Eu vou dar 5 minutos, certo? Se alguém não souber como ver as exchange conditions, é muito simples. Entra nesse site e aí você procura o país. Ou pode até pesquisar pelo país, ok? E pesquisa em inglês. Se for pesquisar, pesquisa em inglês, certo? Então, 5 minutos, vou contar aqui. E aí a gente começa pela ordem que eu escrevi. Índia, depois Indonésia, depois Tunísia e por fim Sudão, ok? Olha, Maria, já que não tá pegando o link para você, eu acho que é só para você. Talvez você tenha digitado errado, mas vamos lá. Eu vou falar aqui a lotação do score. Tunísia. Em julho eles estão lotados, em agosto eles estão lotados e em setembro está com 80%. Eu não recomendo você aplicar para setembro, porque pode ser que essa lotação esteja desatualizada e que não tenha vagas, certo? Mas o resto do mês, o resto do ano, de outubro a março, tá ok. Sudão, eles não têm lotação, então eles têm vagas todo ano. Índia está lotada em junho, julho e agosto. Então, de setembro a março, vocês podem aplicar. E Indonésia, eles não têm lotação no resto do ano, ok? Então, vamos lá, gente. Já terminou aqui. Vamos começar com o primeiro sorteio. Índia, uma vaga. Eu vou liberar aqui as respostas. Perdão, gente, eu mandei o link errado. Eu mandei o link do Scope. Deixa eu mandar o link do Score. Mandei o link do Score? Ué. Vou mandar aqui o link certo. Pronto, a partir de agora vocês têm 2 minutos, certo? Isso, exatamente. Beatriz, você não vai poder ir para o Paquistão, mas a gente vai sortear essa vaga num futuro próximo, como a Juliana falou. Então vamos lá, galera. Lembrando, se você foi sorteado no Scope e você não abdicou da sua vaga aqui no chat do YouTube, você não está apto a ganhar a vaga do Score, ok? Então, se você participou do Scope, ganhou uma vaga e quer ganhar outra vaga do Score, você tem que desistir da sua vaga do Scope automaticamente, ok? Então, vou fechar o formulário e vou fazer o sorteio. A gente teve 15 respostas. E vamos sortear uma vaga. Então, a pessoa que ganhou foi a de número 10, a Jéssica Cristina Gomes. Parabéns, Jéssica. Você ganhou a vaga do Score para a Índia, certo? Então, fala com a sua Cleve, pede para eles entrarem em contato com a SEV e, se a sua Cleve estiver responsiva, você fala com o Instagram da DENEM, ok? Vamos lá. A próxima vaga sorteada vai ser Score Indonésia, uma vaga. Vou mandar aqui para vocês. A partir de agora, vocês têm 2 minutos. Mais 30 segundos. Pronto. Fechei o formulário. Agora vamos lá. A gente teve 18 inscritos e é uma vaga só para a Indonésia. O número sorteado foi número 4, a Lívia Maria Alves, da USP. Parabéns, Lívia Maria Alves. Fala com a Cleve da USP e manda eles... Manda não, né? Pede para que eles entrem em contato com a gente da SEV no Telegram, ok? E se eles não fizerem isso, você entre em contato com o Insta da DENEM, @DENEMBR, certo? Parabéns pela vaga. Então, o próximo sorteio, Tunísia, uma vaga remanescente. Peraí. Tem que colocar 2 a 19, não você colocou 2 a 18. E verdade. Verdade. Perdão, gente. Vamos refazer. Deixa eu só voltar aqui. Real. Muito obrigado, cara. Muito obrigado, Brendo. Vamos refazer. E foi mal Maria também. Lívia Maria. Vamos lá. 2 a 19. Agora sim. Nossa. E o novo número foi Ana Júlia Weber, da UFSC. Ana Júlia Weber, parabéns. E perdão, gente, pelo erro. Pronto, agora sim. Próximo sorteio, Tunísia, uma vaga. Pronto, gente, fechei o formulário. A gente teve 18 pessoas. Vamos lá. Coluna 2 até a 19ª. Sorteado foi número 13, Vitória Marques Moreira. Parabéns, Vitória Marques Moreira, da FAG. Você conseguiu a vaga do Score Tunísia. Parabéns. Entre em contato com a sua Cleve e pede para... Seu nome não está aqui. Ah, tá. Então, Vitória, pede para a sua Cleve entrar em contato com a gente ou você entra em contato com a DENEM. Ok? Na verdade, entre em contato com eles primeiro e aí, se eles não responderem, demorarem muito, por coisa de dias, um dia e meio, enfim, você entra em contato com a DENEM no Instagram, @DENEMBR. E, galera, o último sorteio é Escolhe Sudão. Vou mandar aqui. Lembrando que Sudão tem disponibilidade o ano todo. Eles não estão lotados nem nada do tipo, ok? Mandei aí o formulário. E então, eu ia sortear 3 vagas, certo? Mas como a gente tem muita vaga do Escolha Sudão, eu vou sortear 8 vagas dessa vez, ok? Então são 8 vagas para o Escolha Sudão. Eu vou dar 3 minutos, e aí dá tempo de ler as Exchange Conditions, leiam direitinho, certo? E se vocês são elegíveis para participar, se vocês realmente quiserem ir, se inscrevam no sorteio, certo? Gabriela perguntou quando vai ser o próximo sorteio. Bom, a gente não sabe, mas no futuro próximo, provavelmente ainda em julho, no fim desse mês para julho, beleza? Thales, as vagas que não forem preenchidas hoje vão para o edital de sorteios, que é o edital ao qual eu me referi quando eu respondi a Gabriela, que vai sair no fim desse mês para até o meio de julho, ok? Nesse período, mais ou menos. Beleza. Vou fechar aqui o Forms do Sudão. A gente teve 12 respostas. E a gente vai ter, como eu falei, 8 vagas, certo? Vamos lá. 8 números. 2. Vamos lá. Como eu disse, né, estavam previstas 3 vagas para o Escolha Sudão, mas como a gente tem muita vaga, eu decidi aumentar para 8. E esse é o último sorteio da Exchange Fair, então vamos lá. Os números sorteados foram 2, 3, 4, 5 e 6. Então, 2 até o 6. A gente tem Larissa Bezerra dos Santos, da UEMS, Juliana Pfeiffer Morena Vieira da Silva, da UMS, Matheus Tavares Gomes Rodrigues, da FMC, Ana Letícia Felácio, da Unifam, Gabriela Lana Conte, da UFSC. Beleza. 9, 10 e 13. A gente tem Mariana Racha Reis, da Santa Casa, Pamela Miranda, da UFPR, e, por fim, Beatriz Assami Guilherme, da UEMS. Então, todos vocês entrem em contato com as cleves de vocês, mencionem que ganharam um sorteio e peçam para que eles entrem em contato conosco da Sever. Certo? Hoje, às 7 horas da noite, a gente vai mandar as orientações de pagamento, o que é que vocês têm que fazer. Ok? E aí a gente vai mandar para as suas cleves e as suas cleves vão repassar a vocês. Certo, gente? É isso. Todas as vagas que não foram sorteadas hoje vão ficar para sorteios futuros e que a gente planeja fazer entre o fim de junho e o meio de julho. Certo? Muito obrigado a todos que participaram desses quatro fins de semana do evento da Exchange Fair. Foi um prazer apresentar boa parte do evento e eu vejo vocês nos próximos eventos da DENEM. Um abraço a todos e um bom